Hi guys, and welcome to our WWE Clash of Champions 2020 prediction video. Yes, I am back once again with Callum via phone call.
Hello again, everybody.
Woo!
It's not been a long time because I saw you in the Premier League prediction video. So, yes, hello again from there.
Yeah, good point. And of course, that's our first prediction video since SummerSlam, because I did pay back on my own. But anyway, yes, we are back for Clash of Champions. Yes, I always enjoy Clash of Champions. I enjoyed Clash of Champions last year, a night where all the belts are on the line, more or less. Last year was pretty good. You know, we got Randy and Kofi, we got Becky and Sasha. The main event was pretty good with Braun and Seth, and out came the Fiend to set up his feud with Seth. So it was a pretty good show. And yet we're back for this year's Clash of Champions. We have 6 matches to talk about. So yeah, let's get to it.
Let's go.
Okay, so first match we have is a tag team match for the WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championships. Yes, we have Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura defending their belts up against the Lucha House Party. Yes, Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and or Lince Dorado. Yeah, Callum, take it away.
Okay. Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Ooh, so hard to predict, isn't it?
Yeah, see, I honestly, it's so hard to tell. But no, I think this is going to be a pretty simple win for Cesaro and Shinsuke. Well, not a simple win, because they'll make the Lucha House Party look okay, and there'll be some flying-y moves. I do like the Lucha House Party more than I did when they first came together. I think they seem to have been having better matches more recently and really proving what they can do. But still, it's going to be Cesaro and Shinsuke.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is Cesaro and Shinsuke's first defense on pay-per-view. So yeah, they definitely deserve to have one successful defense. And I really like them as a team, this big heel team. So, and I like the Lucha House Party. I think they're very talented. But I think Cesaro and Shinsuke are going to retain. Yeah, through dirty, cheaty means probably, maybe with a low blow when the ref's not looking and Shinsuke hits the Kinshasa or something. I don't know. We will see. But yeah, Cesaro and Shinsuke to retain, both of us. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward. Okie dokie, on to the next match. Yes, we have another tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Yes, we have the new team of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler going up against the Riot Squad. Yes, so 2 of them, because Sarah Logan left, but yes, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. Yeah, I'll start with this one. I don't. So Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler beat Bayley and Sasha at Payback. Yeah, and now they're feuding with the Riot Squad, Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan. Yeah, I'm trying to say more about this feud, and I don't know what else to say.
Well, you had the Riot Squad had a match against the Iconics on a Payback pre-show that they won.
Ooh, the Payback pre-show.
We're friends again, reuniting, and the Iconics were trying to mess with them. And then on Raw the next night they had another match, the same match, but whichever team won got the Tag Team Championship opportunity, and the other one had to disband. So the Iconics are no more, and the Riot Squad now have this Tag Team Championship match. But oh my God, this is so hard to predict. Oh, I really don't know what to do. It's Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I too am going with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, because I think they're going to be a very dominant tag team together. Although I can see a big shock happening here, because they're getting behind Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan as a team, together. And I could see a big upset here, mate, because Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, they still don't get on, even though that's their whole gimmick now. They still bicker and argue and probably push each other. So that might happen again in this match, and maybe there's a cheeky roll-up or something, I don't know. But nah, I'm going to go with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler to retain, because I think someone just needs to have a good, lengthy reign with those women's tag team belts, because I don't think anyone's had a very good reign with them so far.
Spooky Warriors.
Well, successful defences. I mean, Yeah, but I just kind of forgot Sasha and Bayley had them. They were more focused on the main belts, obviously. And the Kabuki Warrior Gears, yeah, fair enough. They had a decent reign, but I want them to have like a good 6-month reign with those belts. Just hold them for a while. And hopefully an Iron Chainer can do it, but we will see. But I don't really care, if I'm being honest. But yeah, it is.
No, yeah, me neither. I mean, I can see, like you said, with there being some sort of upset with because they're not really a team. They kind of fall out and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think they'd do it at the first defense. Well, actually, no. Well, they've had the first pay-per-view defense. They had a defense against Sasha and Bayley on Raw. Last week, 2 weeks ago. But yes, Nia and Shayna should retain these.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, on to the next match. Yes, we have a match which I think could be very good. Yes, we have a triple threat ladder match for the WWE Intercontinental Championship. Yes, we have Jeff Hardy defending his belt up against AJ Styles and Sami Zayn. Oh, and I think this could potentially be a match of the night contender. This could be really good. So yes, Callum, take it away. Who have you got and why?
This is quite difficult.
It is, yeah, it is.
I don't think it's going to be AJ Styles. Which leads me to believe that it's either going to be Jeff or Sami. But I'm going to go for Sami Zayn.
Oh, you haven't got Jeff to retain in his first defence on pay-per-view.
Yeah. I feel like Sami's just came back and it's got this whole gimmick where he says, I'm still the Intercontinental Champion and all this.
Yeah, and he's carrying around a replica version here.
And I think the ladder match is a very Jeff Hardy match, very specific. Everyone should expect him to win. But I think Sami's going to pull off the shock victory, if you like, and actually walk away with the IC Championship from Clash of Champions. Okay,
yeah, I could see any one of these three winning. Jeff retains, AJ gets the belt back, or Sami gets the belt back after he what? Didn't he have to drop it? He never lost it, did he? Didn't he have to drop it?
Yeah, he vacated it through injury.
Yeah, so he never lost it, Sami. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a very good match, but I'm gonna go with a safe pick. I'm gonna say Jeff Hardy to retain because it's Jeff Hardy. He's got a good record in ladder matches. That's probably what the matches he made famous, him and Matt. And I just think he deserves to have one defense at least because this is like his big comeback storyline about him coming back. He put the feud of Sheamus to bed and he won the belt beating AJ on Smackdown a few weeks ago. So I think he deserves to have one defense as Intercontinental Champion. Maybe have a big match against someone else at Hell in a Cell, which could be really good. But for now, I'm going to say Jeff Hardy to retain because it's his first defense, and I think he deserves to have one successful defense before he drops it. So yeah, I'm going with Jeff Hardy to retain.
Fair enough.
Okay. What is next? Okay, we have a singles match for the WWE Smackdown Women's Championship. Yes, we have Bayley defending her belt up against Nikki Cross. So this is kind of a rematch it's a rematch from Extreme Rules. I did not see them going with Nikki Cross again. I really thought after Bayley finally turned on Sasha after Payback, we were gonna get Sasha and Bayley, but no, I guess they're saving that now, that big feud. So yeah, we're just getting Bayley and Nikki Cross. It's like, what? So Nikki Cross, I think, won a number one contenderships match on SmackDown. I feel like this match is just a complete filler. Just to kill time before we get Bayley and Sasha, probably at Hell in a Cell. Bayley's got to win, hasn't she? She's got to retain because I was going to say Nikki Cross eventually because Bayley and Sasha doesn't need to be for the belt because that feud itself the history between those two is so big there doesn't need to be a belt for it. So maybe Sasha Banks costs Bayley the match and her year-long reign ends, But last night on SmackDown, Sasha said, I want to take the one thing that's most precious to Bayley, the SmackDown belt. So she wants to beat her for it. So yeah, I'm going to say Bayley retains. And then at the end of the match, out comes Sasha and beats up Bayley. And then that sets up their match and feud heading towards Hell in a Cell. Yeah, so I'm going to say Bayley to retain.
Yeah, why couldn't this just have been Lacey Evans or Naomi or somebody else? Nikki Cross she had the match at Extreme Rules, and then she had a match on Smackdown for it a couple of weeks after that, and now she's got one of Clash of Champions.
Yeah.
I feel like it probably has something a little bit to do with Alexa. I think Alexa probably, I don't know if they're like friends or not friends. She's the whole thing with the Fiend, and she got the dreads, and she's doing the Sister Abigail's.
Did you see her last night? She was in like a trance. She was just walking backstage like in a trance. Like, ooh.
I think that she'll be out to originally help Nikki, and then maybe end up costing her because she hit her with Sister Abigail in the number 1 contenders match.
Yeah.
Something like that. But either way, Bayley's definitely retaining because Bayley and Sasha will have to be for the SmackDown belt.
Yeah, after what Sasha said last night, and then obviously Bayley attacked her backstage too. So there's the feud's there now after we waited so long for it to happen. So yeah, okay, we've both got Bayley to retain. Yeah.
Yep.
Okie dokie. All right, on to the 2 main event matches. I assume that they will be. So yes, we'll start off with a singles match for the WWE Universal Championship. Yes, we have the Big Dog. Yes, we have Roman Reigns. Yes, defending his belt with Paul Heyman, going up against Jey Uso. Yeah! Let's go, Uso. Jey Uso, after he won a number 1 contendership match. Wow, I did not see this coming as Roman's first feud as Universal Champion. So yeah, it's a family feud, of course. These two go way back. They're cousins. They grew up together. They wrestled together in the independent scene. Of course, they're best mates. Obviously, when Usos and Roman was a face. Wow! And now Jey Uso's got a big chance to challenge for the Universal Championship. And of course, Roman Reigns, after he won the belt at Payback, and he's now this really interesting character with Paul Heyman. Like, is he heel? Isn't he a heel? But I think they're teasing his heel turn each week after week, just him being all short spoken, and Paul does most of the talking for him. And I think this is going to be a very good match. I think Jey Uso is going to put in a very hard effort, but it's so predictable. Roman Reigns to retain, 100%. No way is Jey Uso winning this match. No way. The whole point of this match, I think, is just to put over Roman as this heel character. Like, I think after the match, Jey Uso's going to go for a handshake, and then I think Roman's going to go full heel and probably just beat up Jey Uso, like spears, chair shots. And I think he's like full heel. He's just beat up his cousin, and oh my god, Roman's fully turned heel now. So yeah, I think it'll be a good match, but no way in hell is Jey Uso winning the belt. So this whole feud is this is just Roman's first defense. So yeah, Roman Reigns to retain. Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Callum.
100%. Yesterday, there was a tag team match, a Samoan street fight. Like, what's the difference between a normal street fight? But Roman Reigns kicks Sheamus in the nether regions, which is quite a heel move. And obviously, he came out at the end of Payback, like almost at the end of the match after the Fiend and
he hit the Fiend with a low blow as well.
That was a fairly heel move, and he's got obviously Paul Heyman, who's normally say Brock Lesnar was a heel, but yeah, there you go. So yeah, I think Roman is on the verge of being fully heel, and then if perhaps Jey Uso almost does win the belt, which I'm assuming they'll make some near falls with Roman, etc. It's going to be a really quick match.
No.
Roman will probably just, be like, well, you almost beat me, like, I gave you this opportunity, etc. And then, like, beat him down and, kill him, Roman.
Yeah, poor Jey Uso. He's going to get battered, I think, at the end of this match, yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad that he's had the opportunity to have one of these matches and to prove that, that he's he can challenge for the top belts, but it's going to be Roman Reigns. Yeah, well,
I really like the video package where what's his name, Paul Heyman narrated like the Samoan dynasty, like with Alpha and Sika, The Rock, Rikishi, and now the Usos and Roman. It's like the Samoan dynasty in WWE. It was a great video package on SmackDown last night. But yeah, Roman's a retain, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, on to what I assume will be the main event. Yeah, it probably will be, yes. We have an ambulance match for the WWE Championship. Yes, we have the big Scottish bastard. Yes, Drew McIntyre. Hey! Yes. Going up against Randy Orton or Keithley, because Keithley has a match with Drew on Raw, and if Keithley wins that match, he will take Randy's place at Clash of Champions. So yes, it's kind of threw a spanner in the works. But yeah, Callum, take it away. Yeah, if Randy and Drew happens, which it might still not, but if it happens, who have you got and why?
Right. Randy could potentially be injured, so he might not make it, and that's why Keithley might get his place. But if it is Drew versus Randy, I don't know. Because we were all saying that Randy Orton would beat Drew almost. That would be really hard to call, considering Drew beat him last time, and Drew has had the title for
160 days, well, plus. It's a tough one to call.
What about Tyson Fury?
Oh, no, that's just Twitter stuff. No way.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to happen at Crown Jewel, and I feel like if it does happen, it will be for the belt.
Oh no! Please no. No way is that match happening. Maybe not. But not for the belt. No way.
Drew McIntyre.
Okay, you got Drew to retain if it's Randy, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That was a good timing. Okay, so you've got Drew. Well, I just want to say this feud has been crazy with Drew and Randy, and now Keith Lee's in the mix as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. So yeah, obviously Drew beat Randy at SummerSlam with a backslide pin, but then Randy hit 3 punt kicks on Drew on Raw the night after. And then he won a triple threat match to get this match, beating Keith Lee and Seth Rollins. And then we got Keith Lee just battered Randy at Payback, one Spirit Bomb, which was like, what? And then the next night, Drew hit 3 Claymores on Randy to get his payback. It was just, this feud's crazy. And now Keith Lee and Drew have been teasing a bit of tension between each other. They had like a big pull apart brawl backstage on Raw this week. And now, of course, Keith Lee's got a shot to face Drew next Sunday if he beats Drew on Raw. So this feud's just crazy. Like, where's Randy in this feud? I assume Randy's probably going to come out on Raw and maybe interfere in the match. So yeah, it's really crazy. But if this match just stays as Drew and Randy, I have got Randy Orton to get the belt because he needs the win now. You know, he lost to Drew at SummerSlam. He lost to Keith Lee at Payback. He needs to get some big momentum back. I know he did get some back with those punt kicks and all that, but he needs to get some momentum back. Drew's had a great reign. Fantastic reign, one of the best face reigns as champion in a long time, over 160 days. But I think it's time now Randy wins the belt at Clash of Champions and throws Drew in that ambulance. But like I said, Keith Lee is the big wild card here. Because if Keith Lee beats Drew, then it could be Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions, which, whoa, the big boy could get a title match. But I think that'd be way too soon to give Keith Lee a title match. As much as I love Keith Lee, I think that's way too soon. His second pay-per-view match is for the WWE Championship. As much as I love Keith Lee, that's pushing him a bit too quick. But we will see what happens. But right now, as it's just Drew versus Randy, I've got Randy, Callum's got Drew, yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And yes, so that is all the announced matches. There is another match which might happen. We've got a tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Champions. Yes, we've got the Street Profits defending their belts, possibly up against Seth and Murphy, Andrade and Angel, or Humberto and Dominic, which they'll have a number 1 contendership match on Raw. Callum, who have you got for that match if it happens?
Whoever the team is that wins the triple threat. I think Rollins and Murphy will probably win the triple threat.
Oh, really?
And I think that they'll beat the Street Profits.
Okay.
So I'm going for Seth Rollins and Murphy for everything.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to go with Humberto Carrillo and Dominic because I think that they'd be a really good team together. And Dominic kind of needs to get some wins because he's been pinned twice now by Seth on Raw and at SummerSlam. So I think Dominic needs to start getting some big wins. And I think Humberto Carrillo and Dominic versus the Street Profits could be a really good match. And if that match happens, I've got Humberto Carrillo and Dominic to get the belts. That'll be a really big moment. But
what's really sad is that I imagine that this was originally supposed to be Dominic and Ray.
Yeah, what happened to Ray? Is he injured?
But yeah, he tore a tricep or something.
Ah.
Like, this would have been Ray and Dominic, and if it had been them, I probably would have chosen them and then chosen them to beat the Street Profits, and then we would have had a father and son as tag team champions.
Yeah, Dominic's first belt too. That would have been really cool.
But as it stands, I don't think they'll do it with Carrillo. I think they'll wait till Ray comes back, which could be a while because tricep. But Seth Rollins and Murphy, they might tease that fallout for a little bit, and then Aaliyah, Ray's daughter, apparently there's going to be some sort of romance storyline with her.
Oh yeah, yeah, I saw that on Raw. It was weird.
But yeah, I think Seth Rollins and Murphy to win the belts, and then when Ray is fit enough again, he and Dominic will eventually take the belts off them.
Okie dokie. All right. Okay. Fair enough. And then another match which might happen. Asuka might. I've heard a rumor that Asuka might be defending her belt against Zelina Vega because she cut a promo on Asuka on Raw.
Yeah.
So that might happen. I don't know if that match happens. Asuka. Absolutely. Asuka. Come on. I mean, Zelina Vega. Come on. What? Come on. I mean, I know they want to push her as a wrestler now because she's been a mouthpiece for Andrade for ages. So,
yeah.
But no. Come on. If that match happens, ask Asuka to retain. Absolutely.
She's barely even a wrestler, Zelina Vega.
Well, no, she's got some moves. I think she wrestled on the independent scene, and she did a bit of wrestling in NXT, so she can wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, she can.
But she's not. She's mainly just used as a mouthpiece for Andrade. But when she wrestles, she's pretty good because I think she had a few matches in NXT, and she was quite good. So, but anyway, that's everything as of right now. Bobby Lashley isn't defending his US title right now because the Hurt Business are busy with Retribution. What else isn't being defended right now?
That's it. Everything else. Well, I mean, you've got.
Yeah, everything else is being defended. Yeah.
But that's not on Clash of Champions or anything. So every belt is being defended currently.
Okay, all right. Well, I believe that's everything. Okay, well, thank you once again for joining me, Callum.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah.
I just want to add something. If it is Drew versus Keithley, I'm going for Keithley.
Woo, big boy! Bask in his glory.
Just add that in there at the end, just in case it is Keithley. I don't understand why they would put Keithley in the picture if they perhaps weren't going to make the match him versus Drew. So
yeah, it is weird.
I don't know. So I feel like it probably might end up being Keithley versus Drew, and when it does, I'm going to go for Keithley.
Or it could be. Sorry. Continue.
Think about Finn. Finn was pushed so hard when he first came to the roster. He beat Seth and Roman on the first night.
Yeah, and then he got injured.
and then he got injured. But if that doesn't happen with Keith Lee, everyone was so big on Finn when he first won the Universal Championship that I think that the same could stand for Keith. So if he gets in the match and it's that match, I've got him to beat Drew and then be the top guy, and everyone's going to be all, jumping for joy for Keith Lee.
Oh yeah, if Keith Lee wins the belt, I'll be chuffed because Keith Lee's one of my lower bays. I love Keith Lee. It could be a triple threat. I've just realised that it could be a triple threat, the main event, because I think if Randy interferes in the match on Raw, and then it sets up a triple threat. So we've got Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and Keith Lee. Oh my! I actually want that now. But if it's a triple threat and Keith Lee is in the match, I've got Keith Lee. So neither of us have got Drew to retain. Actually, no, you've got Drew to retain if it's just Randy, haven't you?
Yeah.
God, this is so complicated. God damn it, WWE. God damn it, WWE. Just keep it simple. Okay. All right. Well, that's Clash of Champions, guys. We hope you enjoy it. It's next Sunday. Thank you for joining me, Callum.
Thank you. I'll
be back prediction-wise in October for Hell in a Cell with Laura. Yes, she'll be joining me. and then Callum and Laura will be joining me in November for our Survivor Series prediction video. Yes, via Zoom. Yes. So yes, thank you for joining me, Callum, and
Thank you.
And yes, hope you all enjoy Clash of Champions, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.
Goodbye.